Morning Trainiacs. Today we're talking about the second aspect of running in our 4-part series about how I can basically guarantee that you'll be able to run a sub 2-hour half marathon with just 3 runs a week. And the second aspect that we're talking about is speed work. So today we're going to talk about how the role of speed work contributes to being able to run a sub 2-hour marathon. And it might be counterintuitive to think, hey, how is running 50, 100, 200 meter intervals going to help me run a 2-hour long race? Well, in a video that I just recently did, I talked about how the benefits of speed work really apply to those long endurance type of events. And it's basically 2 reasons why that is. The first reason is that by doing speed work that is really at the edge of our physical limitations, we are going to have to recruit a whole bunch of extra muscle fibers. And by recruiting all those extra muscle fibers, we're going to be running more efficiently because we have more of our body that we can access. And you can only do that by pushing yourself to your physical limitations. Just doing nothing but long, slow distance running at a target race pace isn't going to do that because it doesn't need to access all of those muscle fibers. The second thing that it accomplishes is it teaches our legs to turn over quicker. Triathletes, endurance runners, when we get into endurance running for the first few times, we have a habit of jogging, of going at long, slow distances, slogging it out, and our body ends up getting into the mode of just chug-a-chug, chug-a-chug, chug-a-chug. And if we don't know how to push ourselves into a race pace kind of feel by turning our legs over very quickly, we're not going to be able to go very quick come race day. So we do speed work. So in the video that I recently did, I talked about how triathletes can go through a 3-month progression of incorporating speed work, but specifically applying this to a half marathon within the context of a training plan that needs to be nimble based off of maybe not having 3 months or having more than 3 months. There are some nuances that we'll talk about. So very basically, how you do speed work is you start by Googling Macmillan Running Calculator, put in a recent running race that you've done, and what's going to pop out is your target paces for 100, 200, 400, 800, 1K, 5K, 10K. It's going to give you targets that you should be training at. And ideally, what you want to do with speed work is go through a progression of every week doing 1 speed work day. You can do it on the treadmill or you can do it on the track. And what you're going to do in weeks 1 through 3 is 100 meters, 8 times the first week, then 10 times the next week, then 12 times the week after. Then you progress to 200, going 8, 10, 12, 400, 8, 10, 12, and then 800, 4, 6, 8. Now here's what we haven't talked about. If you don't have 3 months, if you've got less time, something that you can do is, let's say you only have 9 weeks to prepare, you can cut out all the 200s and go from the 100s to the 400s. Or you can eliminate the 12s. So you can just do 8, then 10, then go to 200 and go 8, then 10, and then go to 400 and then go 8, then 10, and you can eliminate 3 weeks that way. Either way, it doesn't really matter. The idea is to train your body to have really good foot speed. So I want you to focus on a couple of things when you're doing this. Number 1 is your foot cadence. The thing that you should have in mind is when you're hitting the ground with your feet, start thinking 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. In that type of cadence, not 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Very quickly. So this is going to train your body to be able to have that really nice, quick foot turnover that you're not going to be able to train in your long run or when you're just yogging. The next thing that I want you to focus on is your breathing. And how you can focus on your breathing is by going 2 breaths out, 2 breaths in. And how you can do this is by using your foot strikes for This is going to get you enough oxygen, and it's going to train your lungs to work efficiently at that really nice high pace with your turnover being very quick, and you're going to develop the ability to go fast. And it's going to be much, much faster than you're going to be going in your half marathon. What you're training your body to do is have the capability to go really fast so that when you finally get to your race and you settle into a low race pace, you're going to be like, this feels slow. This feels very controlled. Pair that with the ability to run 23 kilometers that we're building up to, that we talked about in video number 1, and all of a sudden you've got the ability to go faster and longer than your target 1:59 sub 2-hour half marathon. 2 small tidbits about doing this speed work. In between the 100s or the 200s or the 300s, you want to take only about a 200 meter sort of recovery session, just done at a really light, slow jog or a walk. Grab a little sip of water if you need it, but you want it to stay continuous. You don't want to stop in between those intervals. And then the second thing is that when it starts getting tough, as it's going to towards that 6, 7, 8 mark, you want to focus on pumping your arms, and that pumping of the arms will help encourage that fast turnover so that you don't start slowing down in the latter half of these intervals. And as we always have with these multi-day video tutorials, we have a free resource that if you go to triathlontaren.com/sub2, the number 2, just by entering your email address for free, you can get a calculator on how to figure out how long your long run should be. You can get sample program for this speed work. There'll also be resources for what we're going to talk about tomorrow, and that being your tempo work. So go check that out, enter your email address, get that resource, go under 2 hours in a half marathon with just 3 workouts a week. I almost guarantee it. And if you aren't yet subscribed, hit that subscribe button below. And if you are an existing Trainiac and subscribed, hit the like button if you like the video. We'll see you tomorrow talking about tempo work.